just ask Brandon, so I ask you as well. You guys are at 500. Hasn't been this late in the season in a long time. I know it's focused on next game and whatnot, but when you hear that you guys are stuff that hasn't been done in a long time, just how's that make you feel, man?
As a Charlottean, it feels pretty good, but I'll say that we're committed to just improving every single day. That's where our focus lies, and I think that our approach has allowed us to put ourselves in this position. Now that we've got back to this position, we have to continue that same level because it's only get harder and harder. It's harder to win when you have a target on your back. It's harder to win when teams expect that you're going to play the way that you are. So I think this group just has to continue to stay focused, continue to grind, and focus on the little things that matter.
Last year, it felt like the third quarter was a period of weakness sometimes where you guys are up 5 going into the half, you're down 14 going into the fourth quarter. This year, it feels like a strength. Do you feel like there's a reason why that has changed so drastically?
I think the level of communication that we have at halftime, just focusing on everyone's voice matters, giving everybody opportunity to speak about whatever they see during the game, but also just the focus that goes into it. I think coming into games, we've done a good job of starting games well, that's at least of recent, and just focusing on making sure that that first unit's locked in, that second unit coming in too. So we put ourselves in a great position in the beginning of the games. Now the game goes on, so you have to stay even more locked in and focus even more. And then I think that's what we've done, and we've had exciting third quarters for that reason. That starting unit's been phenomenal to watch.
One of the offensive staples last year seemed like the flare screens that you would always run or throw or set while the pass ahead or the pass over is happening. It seemed like that's back tenfold this year. How much do you guys like that play, and why do you think it's so successful for this team?
Honestly, it's just a flare screen for empty corner. It's hard to guard for anyone in the league. I saw Max Christie bust my tail with in that third quarter. But I think that's just a good concept that is executed well, especially of a willing screener. I think our bigs have done a phenomenal job, including myself, of getting our creators open. And I think that allows us to be a little bit dynamic, especially with all the shooting that we have, with the ability to get downhill and put pressure on the basket with the rim threats and Musa and Ryan and spacers and everyone else. It really, really helps our offense.
Fun game for you tomorrow, going back to Boston. I know he's not playing, but Jason Tatum reportedly is close to making his return. How excited are you to see him get back on the court?
Man, I just told Kyrie, basketball misses those guys, They're special players, they're special talents, but also just special human beings. So I'm thankful to have played 4 great years with JT, and I'm going to be just as excited as you guys are when he makes his return eventually, whether that's, whenever that is. And I think that for him, it's going to be a great road because I know he doesn't miss games. Even when I was in Boston, he was the guy that made sure no matter how he was feeling, he played every single game. So I know for him, probably has an itch and a nerve to get back, but those nerves will settle in as the year goes on, and I know everybody's excited to have him back on the floor.
Grant, you mentioned the bench. How confident is the bench right now? We know how confident the starting lineup is, but the way you guys are playing, to see that this team doesn't let a lead slip away and you guys are even able to extend leads when you're coming in. Just talk about the attitude of the bench.
Just confidence. We have great faith in our group, whether it's Josh Green. I think he's been phenomenal since his return from injury. Got to give him a real big shout-out and credit. Sion, a rookie that has honestly become a tough-nosed, hard-work team in which he leads, and both at any position you throw him at, whether it's point guard, shooting guard, power forward. Throw him at center, if he'll be fine. His brolic self. So he's done a phenomenal job. We have Ryan Kalkbrenner, who's growing in his confidence because he started at the beginning of the season. Musa has done a phenomenal job of in that role, and then Ryan's the starter for us off the bench. So just give credit to the whole second unit, and then we added Kobe. And we all know how good Kobe is. So it's a fun place to be, and especially in my role with this team. And I think that the non-let-up of the second unit has been great, but also just propelling and accelerating our first unit guys, too. I think every single person on the bench, you could throw them with any unit, and they complement them. So JP's done a phenomenal job of roster construction. Give shout-out to him, but also that unit playing with confidence, playing with aggression, but also trusting one another is huge.
You guys have won 15 of your last 18 now, and people say around nationally the Hornets are on such a hot streak. Do you consider this a hot streak, or do you consider this the way that you guys play?
It's Hornets basketball, man. I think everyone's shocked. Charlotte Hornets, who would have thought? So for us, we just have to continue to focus on the things that we can control. Whatever it is, So I think it's just the basketball and the game that we play. We're an exciting team to watch. I think people are starting to tune in now. Shout out Charles Barkley, and it's really a really fun game to play.
Grant, you mentioned getting this team to 500. It's nice as a Charlottean to see that, but to be a part of it, I know it's been a goal of yours since you got a chance to come here. And so what does it mean to be part of that culture change? But just to see Spectrum Center the way it is, to play in front of a home crowd, your home crowd like this, and just know that you guys are doing what you've set out to do.
Yeah, when we got traded here, Seth and I, we talked about, changing this culture and being a part of it. I wish my brother could be here with me, a part of it, but it's a different meaning for us, just because, you grew up I watched Kemba, I watched Gerald Henderson, I watched Emeka Okafor, Raymond Felton. Like, you've seen all those years, and I think this city is a phenomenal city to move to, as we can see in the world right now. And Charlotte has always been a gold mine, and I think that the Hornets organization is the same thing. We have a lot of people who believe in us. It's a premier organization that we're trying to establish, and not just across the Charlotte area in North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, and all the fans around, but across the country, across the world. So I'm super excited in the direction that we're headed, and to be a part of it is definitely a blessing. Thank you, guys.